Hello, everyone. Welcome back to MetalCast here at metalcoffeeshop.com. My name is Megan Ellsworth. I'm your host today, and I'm really excited because we're here with Gary, the director of Low Slope Roofing at All-Weather Insulated Panels, AWIP. And I'm so excited because we're talking about OneDek for metal roofing, Gary. But before we get into that, I'd love it if you could just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about AWIP.
Sure. Hey, everyone. I'm Gary Sweeney, the director of Low Slope Roofing for All Weather Insulated Panels, originally from Indianapolis, Indiana. Go Hoosiers. I currently reside in Tampa, Florida, and I've been with AWIP since August of 2025.
Oh, awesome. So it's kind of new. How are you liking it?
Yeah. Love it, love it, love it. Just awesome, high-level company, high-energy company, very technical, just very high-level individuals. It's just a great environment. We work hard. We play hard. Awesome. I'll just kind of give some just kind of background about AWIP, kind of let you know what AWIP is. We refer to it as AWIP. It's all weather insulated panels. It's kind of a mouthful, right? So we just kind of call it AWIP for short.
Love it.
But it's an innovator in design construction industry focused on the advancement of utilizing foam composite in insulated metal panels. Like I said, we're highly technical, very innovative. We're strategically positioned to meet energy, environmental, economic challenges that face the North American building industry. We have 3 state-of-the-art facilities in Vacaville, California, Little Rock, Arkansas, and East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. And that is where we manufacture OneDek. OneDek is, I wear this phrase out at the company. I've got people now parroting this phrase, which I don't know if that's good or not. But, I literally refer to it like as the solution to the issues that commercial roofing presents. Like I've heard people refer to it as an alternative to traditional roofing, and I immediately said, "Hey, no, that's wrong. Like we have to change our terminology. It's not an alternative. It literally is the solution." So I refer to it as like the evolution of roofing.
I love it. I love that. Not alternative, evolution. That's fabulous. Okay, so what challenges are contractors facing today that you mentioned with traditional low slope assemblies that kind of led to this development of OneDek?
Yeah, just quick background on myself. Like prior to joining AWIP, I spent a decade in the traditional built-up roofing space. So I'm painfully familiar with the issues that the industry has been presented with for years and years and years. And those issues are lengthy installation times and just a lack of skilled labor. The commercial roofing industry is losing 10% of its workforce every year. It's an older workforce. Like some of them are coming up on retirement age. There's a lot of good organizations that try to recruit high schools and college campuses, but there is a overall just lack of youth being infused into the industry. Like, no offense, but the commercial roofing industry is just very old school. It's slow paced. It lacks innovation. There's a bit of stubbornness to adapt or adopt new methodologies. Like what little innovation that has been introduced has mostly been on the product side. No one has really ever been able to crack the code on the installation side. And that's exactly what AWIP has done with OneDek. Okay.
Well, let's talk about it. Tell us about OneDek and what it's designed to do kind of in the low slope roofing space.
Yeah, so it's literally a 2-step process. So in a typical traditional install, you can have up to 5 or 6 steps in the installation process. Like you have your B-deck, you have your vapor barrier, you have your ISO, possibly 2 layers of ISO, depending on the required R value, possibly a cover board, and then finally a membrane. So again, it's a 5-6 step process with pieces arriving from different manufacturers. So if you think about it from a logistical standpoint, if you're staging a job site and you're accepting deliveries, like you hope the components arrive in the order of installation. It doesn't do you any good if the vapor barrier shows up before the deck or if the membrane shows up before the ISO. So it can be a bit of a logistical nightmare. So OneDek just simplifies all that. If there's 2 words that I want you to take away from this conversation, it's speed and simplicity. You put down OneDek and you skin it with a membrane. The OneDek actually replaces the B deck, and then encapsulated in the OneDek system is the vapor barrier, the insulation, and the cover board. Like,
okay.
I can't teach someone how to weld B deck, but I can teach someone how to mechanically fasten a OneDek system onto metal joists. So you simply screw down the OneDek into the joist, adhere a membrane, skin it with a TPO or a PVC, mechanically attached, fully adhered, and you're done. It's only a two-step process. I typically say that a OneDek system can be installed in the third of the time that it takes to install a traditional system. So again, it's all about speed and simplicity.
Yeah. So I have a follow-up question for you here.
Yeah.
Kind of going off of what you said on training. And I mean, we're losing 10% of the workforce every year. How can a product like this kind of evolve how you're training your employees as well?
Yeah, so we offer training of it. We have a network that we utilize. We call it our IMP Pro network. So we have an installation network that we can expose the market to. But we do offer training ourselves, and we bring you in, and it's a very, very hands-on course. Part of it classroom, part of it all hands-on. We offer them at all three of our manufacturing facilities. So there's, from a geographical standpoint, there's an area close to you, and we can bring you right in, and we can teach you exactly how to install. Like I said earlier, I can't teach you how to weld B-deck, but I can teach you how to fasten and then from there on, it's just about, it's not so much about just adding volume, like just adding bodies to the roster. It's really about fostering the relationships of our installers, knowing their size, knowing their scope, knowing their geographical footprint, like exactly what project would fit for your application. Like, you guys are set up to do large mega projects. Well, hey, I still need some of these smaller projects get done. So it's just about fostering, nurturing relationships, and overall just completing the installation matrix that we call the IMP Pro network.
I love it. And like you said,
I am a certified installer too. Nobody has asked me to be on a roof yet. I have not installed one in actuality, but I have gone through the class, and I am certified.
That's awesome. I love it. And it's so great too that, like you said, you don't have to train on multiple systems, right? It's just one system, one area of expertise. You don't have to be multifaceted, learning a bunch of different things at the same time. So from a performance standpoint, how does OneDek deliver on, like you said, insulation, air barrier, and structural needs, like all in this one system?
One of the highest performance systems on the market. And I do like to refer to it as a true system. It's an engineered system. It is not a commoditized Me Too product. It's a customizable solution designed to meet the complex needs of your particular application. So from an installation standpoint, our InnovaCell technology is just a game changer. Like, let's look at an example. So you're designing a building with an insulation requirement of R30. That's a very common requirement.
Yeah.
With a traditional ISO, you would need 2 layers of 2.6 inch ISO, resulting in 5.2 inches of stacked installation. I can achieve that true R30 in only a 4-inch panel. So now you're purchasing less material, you're shipping less material, installing less material, maintaining a thinner profile, and still achieving a true R30. From a air barrier standpoint, it's a closed cell system. It is impervious to the elements. It's totally acceptable to be used in phase construction. In my previous life, phase construction made us very nervous. Like, traditional systems are open cell systems. Like, they can't be exposed to moisture, which obviously limits your installation, right? So you got rain, snow in the forecast. I don't think we can get started here because I won't have the membrane over this ISO before the rain hits. Well, we essentially just lost a day of install, where with OneDek, it's rock and roll. Like, let's get as many panels as we can installed. Once the weather passes, we'll just come back and finish it off with a membrane. So if you think of that from like a seasonal perspective, if you live in a rainy or a snowy climate, like, OneDek can literally expand your installation window. So you're always active, and your crew is never idle. Last but certainly not least, like, let's take a look at it from a structural perspective. So OneDek is a structural component. It is signed off on by a structural engineer. Like, the system can provide diaphragm shear. And so what is diaphragm shear, you might ask? I'll be honest, I never knew what diaphragm shear was before I started AWIP. Traditional roofing components like membrane and ISO don't provide structural integrity like the OneDek does. So I remember on my first day at AWIP, I was in our Vacaville, California location, which is right outside of Napa, by the way. So if we have any wine enthusiasts out there, like, listening, feel free to stop by the plant for a tour in between your wine and cheese sampling.
Love it.
Everyone is using this diaphragm shear terminology, and I finally had to just put up my hand and go, like, okay, like, can someone tell me what diaphragm shear means? And the best way I can describe it, diaphragm shear is how horizontal events like wind or seismic activity affects horizontal elements like the roof, and then subsequently transfers that lateral load to the vertical elements, the walls. So it's horizontal to vertical transfer of energy. I guess to simplify it, like, have you ever bought a cheap bookshelf, and when you first assemble it, it feels pretty flimsy. It feels kind of wobbly. But once you attach that supportive backing to it, it becomes rigid. It becomes sturdy. That's diaphragm shear, and that is the structural integrity that the OneDek system provides.
Wow. Oh my gosh. This kind of seems like a no-brainer at this point. So can you walk us through kind of some real-world applications in the types of projects where you see contractors getting the most value out of OneDek? Yeah.
So OneDek is applicable for any and all low-slope commercial and industrial applications. I don't want to put any limits on the system, but where we've seen a lot of wins is in the cold storage and the data center industry.
Oh, really?
No secret that cold storage and data center industry are just two of the fastest growing sectors in commercial roofing. Like, these industries put a lot of value in speed of installation. They have aggressive install schedules, and that is right in OneDek's wheelhouse. Like, that's exactly what it's designed to do, right? Cut down on complexity and the lengthiness of the installation time. And we've had customers come to us with some very tight windows, and they were struggling to find someone who can install a roof in the time frame that their install schedule would allow. And we have a solution for you. Like that, again, it's right in our wheelhouse. Like, let me tell you about OneDek. Like, what if I told you that you can actually open your building sooner than anticipated? Like, you want that building open and operational in October. What if I told you OneDek would allow you to open that facility in September? Like, what would an additional month of revenue mean to your business? You know, a lot of these
that's huge
data centers and these cold storage units, they have some very tight temperature tolerance that they must adhere to. And this goes back to my previous statement about our InnovaCell insulation technology.
Yeah.
I can help you achieve a tighter temperature tolerance with a system that's easier to install and features a lower profile. So we're laser focused on providing solutions to the cold storage and the data center industry. But again, it's applicable in all low slope applications. Like, if a chain of grocery stores or restaurants, is expanding their nationwide footprint and they're opening new locations in markets across the country, OneDek can certainly help you construct and open those stores sooner. So please, we have a technical staff that loves to get creative in finding a solution that works best for your needs, regardless of your application.
Well, I love what you said too about there are people coming to AWIP looking for contractors. So all the more reason to be a certified installer, get ahead of this now, be the first to buy in, because the people that are first are always, they reap the most benefit, right?
Right, absolutely.
So for contractors who are interested, looking to stay competitive and improve their installation speed without sacrificing quality, why, just one last final pitch, why should they be on board with OneDek and have it on their radar right now?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm kind of starting to sound like a broken record here. It's all about speed and simplicity, right? Like, if you want to install more roofs in a calendar year, like OneDek is for you. If you want to start a project and finish a project sooner, OneDek is for you. Like, I know it's a big paradigm shift. It is adopting a new technology, but which the commercial roofing industry seems, like I said, are a little stubborn to do so. But we do it all the time. Like, we don't use flip phones anymore, right? We use smartphones. Like, new technologies are allowing us to work and play more effectively and more efficiently. Like, we've embraced new technologies in our homes, in our vehicles. And I ask this question to the decision makers in our industry, the influencers in the commercial roofing channel. I say, why aren't you embracing new technologies in your roofing decisions? And if you're ready to start, then OneDek is absolutely for you.
I love it. Okay. And also lastly, Gary, I just wanted to touch on, extreme weather events. We talked about it a little bit, but hurricanes, high wind, earthquakes, let's talk about that a little bit more and how OneDek can kind of really, like you said, with the shear, what was it called?
Diaphragm shear.
Yeah, diaphragm shear, how this can be a game changer for their customers as well.
I'll tout our technical team again. Like, we have been given some very, very aggressive, some very high wind riders. Obviously, a lot of buildings are being constructed in high velocity hurricane zones. I live in Tampa myself. I've been through a couple of them. There's nothing out there that's going to take on you just a full brunt of a storm. Right. But I'll tell you, in that instance, it becomes more of an insurance. In the event of a named storm that the industry considers an act of God, that's kind of becomes more of an insurance than it becomes like a manufacturing discussion. But I will say my technical team is dialed in. And if you've got a very, very specific, we will try to get to a yes. I'll put it that way. I've worked for some very risk adverse companies before that always kind of seemed like it was just a no, like we're not going to do that. Whereas that's where we thrive. Our guys love getting on the phone, and we love exploring, like, how creative can we get? How innovative can we get? We're just a solution-based company with a lot of brain power, with a lot of horsepower that would love to take on your design and see if we could provide a solution there. And if that means it's OneDek, or we're even changing the OneDek system to accommodate, we're adding additional components to it. Our testing and our R&D is just constantly churning it out. So please, like I said, bring us something.
Awesome. I love it. Well, Gary, I really appreciate your time today. Where can everyone learn more about OneDek? What's your website?
awip.com. Very, very simple. AWIP. We used to be, our emails used to say all weather, like insulated panels, but like we just got it updated. So it's just AWIP now. So again, what I say, speed, simplicity, we practice that in everything we do. So again, awip.com, OneDek. We've got a really, really cool digital tools on there that's called Glimpse 3D that will actually take like exploded views. You can rotate it, and it's all web-based. It's not software-based. So I think you'd be pleasantly surprised the tools that we have available to you just right there on the website.
That's amazing. I love it. Well, I mean, this to me, like I said earlier, is a no-brainer. So everyone should definitely go to awip.com. You can also go to the AWIP directory on metalcoffeeshop.com to learn more and find out all their find and listen to all their other podcasts, webinars, everything that they've done with us. Gary, this has been a blast. You're a blast. Thanks so much for chatting with me.
Yeah, this is great. Thanks for having us on. Anything for OneDek. But thanks for getting us out there to the listeners.
Absolutely. Everyone stay tuned. We have more MetalCasts coming your way every week. So we'll see you on the next one. Bye.